For this video, I am going to demonstrate to you how to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. So let's go through an example of how to add fractions with unlike denominators. So step one is to find the LCD, or the least common denominator. So we take our two denominators, 2 and 3, and we find the multiples of both. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Remember in class, at least go to 5 multiples. So 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, 4 times 2, and 5 times 2. So if we look through our multiples table that we made, we see that the LCD, or the least common denominator, is 6. So step 1 is complete. Step 2 says write the equivalent fractions with the common denominator. So let's do step 2. 1 over 2. What times 2 is 6? 3. And what we do to our denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So our new equivalent fraction is 3 over 6. Now let's do the same thing with 1/3. What times 3 is 6? 2. What you do to the bottom, or the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And so now we have our equivalent fractions with a common denominator. Check. Step 3, rewrite the problem. So 1/2 is now 3 over 6. So let's rewrite the problem. 3/6 plus 1/3 is now 2/6. That was 2 over 6. So we rewrote the problem in the same order that it was presented to us in the problem, in the original problem. So that's off of our to-do list, step 3. And step 4 is my favorite part, solve. So if we look, we only add the numerators. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Our denominator stays the same. So our answer is 5 over 6. And that is how you add fractions with unlike denominators. Now let's do an example of subtraction. It is the same steps. So let's go through this. Step 1, find the LCD, or the least common denominator. So we draw our multiples chart. We list our denominators, 6 and 12. So we go 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. So let's look through our multiples chart. You see a least common denominator. I do, 12. All right, so we found the LCD. Step 1 complete. Step 2 is now write equivalent fractions with the common denominator. So 5 over 6. Right? What times 6 is 12? 2. What you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. So our new denominator is 12. 5 times 2 is 10. So 10 over 12 is our new equivalent fraction. And 7 over 12, what do you have to do to 12 to get to 12? Multiply by 1. So our second fraction in our subtraction problem stays the same, 7 over 12. So step 2, check. We found equivalent fractions with common denominators. Step 3, we rewrite the problem in the same order. So let's see, our equivalent fraction for 5 over 6 is now 10 over 12 minus 7 over 12. The equivalent fraction, well, it's the same, 7 over 12. Rewriting the problem is done. Now we can do the fun part and solve. Remember, we only look at the numerator. The denominator stays the same. 10 minus 7. So we go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. 10 minus 3 is 10 minus 7 is 3. So our answer is 3 over 12. 3/12. Done. Now for an extra credit point, you could simplify. What number can go into 3 and 12? 3. So you divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. So 1/4 would be your simplified answer. Again, in 5th grade, you don't have to simplify. It is just an extra credit point if you do so. I hope you have a deeper understanding of how to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators after watching this video. Let me know if you have any additional questions.